Hello Army! Welcome back to Zone Taekook channel. The bright beams of light shining across the night sky of Goyang did not merely signal an ordinary concert. They became witnesses to a moment that will live on in the memories of fans forever. That night, it wasn't just Army filling the stadium with a sea of light, but also the special presence of Kim Taehyung's closest friends who came in person to show their support. The arrival of the Wooga Squad, consisting of Park Seo-joon, Choi Woo-shik, Park Hyung-sik and Peak Boy, set the stage with a heartwarming beginning before the night truly exploded with Taehyung's extraordinary performance. The Wooga Squad members were seen arriving together wearing matching jackets that immediately caught fans' attention. They sat among the audience not as major celebrities, but as friends supporting someone they deeply care about. Cameras captured moments of them smiling, waving, and occasionally cheering during the concert. Their presence was not just a symbol of support, but also a genuine testament to sincere friendship amid the harsh entertainment industry. The atmosphere in the stadium felt different from the very beginning. Many fans noticed the Wooga Squad's presence and began talking about it on social media. However, that attention slowly shifted as the lights dimmed and the opening music echoed throughout the stadium. That was when the real moment began. The moment when BTS once again proved the power of their stage, especially when Taehyung took command of the world's attention. When Taehyung appeared on stage, the atmosphere instantly turned into a sea of screams. He walked calmly yet confidently, carrying a mysterious aura that was hard to explain. Every movement seemed controlled, as if each second had been carefully planned to create an unforgettable experience. Yet, what stood out most that night was not just his presence, but how he built emotion from the very first second. The music began softly and Taehyung stood still for a moment at the center of the stage. That brief silence became the most powerful moment, as the entire audience seemed to hold their breath, waiting for what would happen next. And when he finally began to sing, his signature baritone voice shook the entire stadium. His voice sounded deeper, more emotional, and stronger than ever before. Every note he delivered felt like a living story. Many fans admitted they got chills hearing his voice resonate throughout the stadium, not only because of his extraordinary vocal quality, but also because of the emotion he poured into every lyric. Beyond vocals, Taehyung's dance performance that night also became a major highlight. His movements appeared more expressive and meaningful. He wasn't just dancing to choreography, he truly became one with the music. Every step, every turn, and every hand gesture felt like part of the story he was telling the audience. In several parts, Taehyung even improvised. He added personal touches to his dance, creating moments that felt exclusive to that night alone. These improvisations were immediately met with hysterical screams from fans who realized they were witnessing something truly special. His visual performance was equally captivating. He wore a shimmering black jacket that beautifully reflected the stage lights, paired with a slightly open dark shirt. His look was elegant yet carried a signature touch of sensuality. His slightly tousled hairstyle gave off an effortless charm that only enhanced his appeal. When the camera zoomed in on his face on the big screen, his expressions became a topic of conversation on their own. His deep gaze, warm smile, and emotional expressions while singing made many fans feel directly connected to him. He wasn't just performing as an idol, but as an artist who truly felt every moment on stage. One of the most memorable moments occurred when Taehyung walked to the edge of the stage and interacted directly with the audience. He crouched down, getting closer to fans in the front row, and smiled brightly. That simple gesture sparked a wave of emotion throughout the stadium. Many felt it was a genuine reflection of his closeness with his fans. The energy he radiated that night felt different, warmer, more sincere, and deeper. He didn't just want to deliver his best performance, but also to share his feelings with the audience. This was evident in the way he sang each song, as if every lyric held personal meaning he wanted to convey. After the main part of the performance ended, Taehyung gave a small surprise that became one of the most viral moments. He stood still at the center of the stage, gazing at the night sky, and took a deep breath. The lights slowly dimmed, creating a dramatic silhouette that left the entire stadium silent. Then, without warning, he raised the microphone again and sang an additional note that wasn't part of the original arrangement. This brief improvisation was met with explosive cheers from fans. The moment felt incredibly spontaneous, and that was exactly what made it so special. At one point, the camera returned to the Wooga Squad, who were seen smiling proudly as they watched Taehyung's performance. They cheered along, showing genuine support as friends. This moment highlighted that behind the dazzling stage, Taehyung still has a strong and warm circle of friendship. As the performance neared its end, Taehyung slowly walked toward backstage. But before disappearing completely, he turned back and gave one final smile to the audience. That smile was simple yet full of meaning, a heartfelt expression of gratitude. Even after the concert ended, the impact of Taehyung's performance continued to resonate. Social media was immediately flooded with videos, photos, and comments from fans who couldn't forget what they had witnessed. Many called it one of the best performances of his career. Not a few admitted to crying after watching him perform. They felt that what Taehyung presented was not just entertainment, but an emotional experience that was difficult to put into words. Meanwhile, the Wooga Squad's presence also became a trending topic. Many praised their friendship, which appeared so genuine and strong. In an industry full of pressure, such relationships are rare and valuable. But ultimately, the night belonged to Taehyung. With his powerful baritone vocals, expressive dance, captivating visuals, and ability to emotionally connect with the audience, he delivered a performance that was not only outstanding, but truly unforgettable. The second day of the concert in Goyang was not just a musical show. It was a story, an experience, and proof that Kim Taehyung is one of the most charismatic performers in the world today. And for the fans who were there that night, one thing is certain: they didn't just watch a concert, they became part of history. As a closing, the second night of the Goyang concert was more than just an ordinary music performance. It was an emotional experience that left a deep imprint on the hearts of the audience. The presence of the Wooga Squad at the beginning symbolized the strength of friendship, but the spotlight ultimately remained on Taehyung, who dominated the stage with his charisma, powerful baritone vocals, and expressive dance performance. Through every note, movement, and gaze, he proved that he is not only a member of BTS, but also a true artist capable of conveying deep emotions to millions of fans. The warm support from his friends and the incredible energy from ARMY made the night even more perfect. In the end, the concert will be remembered not only for its grandeur, but for the sincere moments it created, moments where music, friendship, and emotion came together into one unforgettable story. And at the center of it all stood Taehyung, as the heart of a night that truly shook the fandom world. After such an unforgettable night, fans began to reflect on what made Kim Taehyung's performance so impactful. It wasn't just the flawless execution or the stunning stage production, but the authenticity he brought to every second on stage. In an industry often driven by perfection, Taehyung chose to embrace raw emotion, allowing himself to be vulnerable in front of thousands of people. That honesty created a rare connection, one that went beyond music and visuals, reaching something deeply personal for everyone watching. Many ARMY later shared that they didn't just feel entertained, they felt understood. As clips from the concert continued to spread across platforms, discussions about that night only grew stronger. Fans analyzed every detail, from his vocal tone shifts to the subtle expressions in his eyes. Even casual viewers who weren't present at the stadium found themselves captivated by the energy captured in those moments. It became clear that what happened in Goyang wasn't something that could be easily replicated. It was a once-in-a-lifetime convergence of timing, emotion, and artistry. And while the stage lights eventually faded and the crowd returned home, the feeling lingered. For many, that night became a reminder of why they fell in love with BTS in the first place. Not just for their music, but for their ability to create moments that feel truly alive. Moments that stay with you long after the final note has been sung. In the days that followed, the impact of that night only seemed to grow stronger. Fans who were present at the concert in Goyang began sharing their personal experiences, stories filled with emotion, disbelief, and gratitude. Some described how they couldn't stop thinking about the moment Kim Taehyung stood in silence before singing, while others recalled the exact second his voice echoed through the stadium and gave them chills. Each story, though different, carried the same feeling, that they had witnessed something truly rare. Even those who only watched through screens could feel the intensity. The videos circulating online weren't just clips, they became emotional triggers. Comments flooded in from fans all over the world, many saying they replayed the performance over and over again, trying to relive the same emotions. It was as if that one night had created a shared memory for millions, breaking the boundaries of distance and time. What made it even more meaningful was knowing that behind such a powerful performance stood a person who continues to grow, not only as an artist, but as an individual. Taehyung has always been known for his unique artistic perspective, but that night, he showed a deeper layer of himself. A side that is more introspective, more expressive, and perhaps more honest than ever before. And that is what made the performance feel so human. For many fans, that night wasn't just about admiration. It became inspiration. Inspiration to feel more deeply, to express more honestly, and to appreciate the small but meaningful moments in life. Because through his performance, Taehyung didn't just tell a story. He reminded everyone that emotions are something to be embraced, not hidden. And perhaps that is why, long after the lights dimmed and the stage emptied, the echoes of that night still remain. Not in the form of sound, but in the hearts of those who experienced it. A quiet, lingering feeling that something beautiful had happened. Something that words will never fully be able to capture. And as time moves forward, that night in Goyang will slowly become a memory, but not one that fades. Instead, it will remain as a defining moment. A night when music, emotion, and human connection aligned in the most perfect way. A night where Kim Taehyung didn't just perform. He left a piece of himself on that stage. For ARMY, this wasn't just another concert added to a long list of unforgettable BTS moments. It became something deeper. A reminder that behind the global fame and dazzling performances, there is still sincerity, passion, and a genuine love for music and for the fans who continue to stand by them. And maybe that's the real reason why this moment feels so special. Because it wasn't planned to go viral. It wasn't created to impress. It simply happened naturally, honestly, and beautifully. And sometimes those are the moments that stay with us the longest. So even years from now, when fans look back at BTS's journey, the second night in Goyang will always hold a special place in their hearts. Not just as a concert, but as a story, one filled with friendship, emotion, and a performance that touched millions across the world. If you were there, you already know how it felt. And if you weren't, maybe now you understand why everyone is still talking about it. Because in the end, it was never just about the stage. It was about the feeling.